Rise and shine.
Welcome back to the show, and if you just happen to tune in, a very good morning to you. You're tuning in with the Wednesday's edition of Rise and Shine, and we're all set to start off the guest segment. And today we'll be talking about biomedical engineering, research pertaining to biomedical engineering, and facilities and courses available for you to pursue biomedical engineering if you are a fan of that. And also we're going to talk about a new product that was invented. I think you must have seen about articles pertaining to this on social media and news as well. This is a new product that is able to detect cardiovascular complications at an early stage, so we're going to talk about that as well. So we have two gentlemen with us in the studio. So we have Dr. Nuwan Dayananda, Head of Department Electronic and Telecommunication Engineering of the University of Moratuwa, and also Mr. Kirti Kodituaku, Chief Executive Officer, Jendo Innovations, who is also an alumnus of University of Moratuwa. A very good morning to you.
Good morning, Jan.
Thank you for joining with us today. And starting off with, my first question is directed to Mr. Dr. Dayanand, actually. How is the biomedical engineering department, and how is the growth of the student body when it comes to more people pursuing this avenue in Sri Lanka?
Now, if I start with the industry in Sri Lanka, we don't have a high-end electronic industry. So we have recognized this biomedical engineering or medical device manufacturing or research is one of a high potential area. With that in view, Department of Electronic and Telecommunication Engineering, University of Moratuwa, started this biomedical engineering undergraduate program in 2014. Now we have there are 3 batches graduated. Now our target was to produce set of engineers which are high-skilled engineers. They are capable of doing innovations and taking the innovation into the commercialization or into the industry. Yes. So in that in mind, we take a small number of intake into the biomedical engineering program, about 15 per batch. But these students are very extremely talented students, so we train them to be able to innovate and then help the companies or the industry to come up with product. So to do that, that's the one part, producing good graduates. The other part is we also, through these undergraduates, we test some of the concepts that come with from the medical professionals. So they say that if we can do this, we can maybe have a product that can predict a disease or something. So we test them. So we test whether we wanted to do a device for non-invasive blood glucose measurement. So we want to maintain diabetic patients to prevent kind of complications. And all those kind of projects are done through undergraduate studies. And we also have these graduate studies. People do research, graduate research, and they sometimes do part-time research. There are a lot of options available in this area. We have started this research or project work 10 years back. For an example, now we are talking about this innovation. This concept of endothelial dysfunction came to us from a medical doctor, Professor Saroj Jayasingham. And one of our staff members who is doing a biomedical engineering faculty in our department, Dr. Anjula De Silva, took up that, and we found a set of students who are interested in taking up this project. And they tested the concept and they came up with a good indication, and we published that result. It happened to be the Kirti Kodituaku here is one of those students. So he was a graduate from, not a biomedical engineering graduate, he is a graduate from the Department of Electronic and Telecommunication Engineering in traditional electronic and telecommunication stream, or the specialization. Now he was brave enough to start his own company without going to a job and get this kind of concept, not only this other product, and get them for commercialization. So that's how this endothelial dysfunction device came to the market. Now, after we test the concept, they have taken up the idea and developed it to a clinical product that has been used in different locations on the basis of testing right now, but it can predict diseases. Now, we haven't given up that product. That means they can, now this is our intention. Our local industry should gain our knowledge, should get our graduates and come up with products that can be commercialized and maybe export later. But we don't stop there. We do the same concept, we apply in different directions. There are few students working on different ideas of the same concept. Maybe, probably, they might come up with a different product in the future.
Right. Mr. Keith, now let's talk about, before we come into the product, let's talk about the foundation that you got from the University of Moratuwa. Let's talk about the research, let's talk about the university programs that really help you to be what you are today.
Actually, thank you very much for giving the opportunity first. And then the ideal person to talk about is Dr. Nuwandayanand, actually. He said, I studied in electronic engineering, but my intention was to follow biomedical engineering. But at that time in Moratuwa University, there was no such field in biomedical engineering. But when I came to the department in the electronics and telecommunication, I selected electronics and telecommunication because it has a specialization, the subject specialization for biomedical engineering. I had only two choices, whether I go to mechanical engineering department or electronic engineering department. Those are the only two departments that were offering biomedical engineering. So at that time, the biomedical engineering department was not started, but every semester we had a biomedical engineering subject and we could follow that specialization. So while doing that, I found a like-minded team also from the department itself. So we worked like a gang. So we got together and we did so many projects because all our intention was to take something and go to the industry and try it out with real people and with real problems. So I think one major thing is that foundation, the team and the support. And then the other thing is the infrastructure support. In Moratuwa University, actually, so many people are not really using it. It has so many opportunities and so much doors are open to the world. So I actually got that, foundation because my lecturers, all my lecturers, they were helping me time to time. Not only the technology lecturers, sometimes the management, sometimes the accounting, everything. So actually to start a business, I got that confidence and foundation from the university itself. So, yeah.
Yes. And with that, obviously, this amazing product that you've brought to the table, that is a kind of a result of the tremendous experience that you've received from your academics. So let's talk a little bit about this product.
Yeah. When it comes to the product, as he said, we tried out the concepts. So when we try out the concepts, my teammates, and I, we came up with, when we try this endothelial dysfunction, I will tell you, I talked to a few doctors, and then doctors said, what is the use of endothelial dysfunction? We are not using in the current procedures, so why, those are, normal general practitioners. And then, okay, I was really, because this came from medical professionals and why, this is not been using that, and we did more research. We are not giving up. So we wanted to do more research and we identified that endothelial dysfunction is the first stage of this cardiovascular diseases. And then at the moment the current procedures are not there, and the existing procedures are also very expensive for them to do those tests. Therefore they ignore that and do certain other tests to identify it. Actually, and then we met the specialized people, the doctors like cardiologists and it's very senior doctors. Actually, they had so much of ideas about this and they gave me a lot of guidance. And there, actually, we identified, okay, if we really focus on this thing, it will be a game changer for the medical industry. They can do this test and then they can get a collective risk calculation about the patient that is coming to them. I mean, that's the product idea, and that's what we came up. And then the other thing is, when we talk about the cardiovascular disease, according to World Health Organization, the early detection of this cardiovascular diseases is the key to stop that. So early detection is possible with this innovation, because this when the endothelial dysfunction is there, I mean, if we can detect at that point, then we can save that person without having further complications.
Yes.
And with that, Dr. Nuwan, let's talk a bit about the programs that are available in terms of biomedical engineering. We were told that you don't have a separate undergraduate program right now, but I believe that...
No, we have a separate undergraduate program right now.
Now, but it wasn't there when Kirti joined the university.
Yes.
Right. So let's talk about, now I'm pretty sure that there are so many students who want to pursue this field. How do they become a part of it? What's the procedure?
Okay, procedure is a little tough for the student right now. They have to be selected for engineering at University of Moratuwa, and that is a tough competition.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the first semester they have exam. So in that exam, actually after that exam, we get the people into the different fields like electronic, biomedical, computer, different mechanical fields. So when we have demands more than the students that we can take in, we look at that first semester marks and then select. So usually biomedical, electronic, computer fields are highly demanded, so there's a higher competition. So usually people with higher marks at that exam can get in.
Yes.
And we want people with interest in biomedical engineering to come in this.
Definitely.
Can I get one?
Yes, go ahead.
15 minutes. Now, that is the students, and we want to develop this industry. In that in mind, we don't have people like Kirti who is brave enough to give up a very high-paid job and start a company and do product development. So, we have established a Center for Biomedical Innovation, where we, established industry, if they want to diversify their investment, they can come to us and talk with us. They can get up our ideas and develop together. There's a mechanism to support this kind of innovations, and they can get these products and innovate, and they can market. So we can give all the support through this Center for Biomedical Innovation, or CEBI, that is established exactly for that. So we want to somehow develop this industry in the country.
Yes, and also we do have a screen shot of what the department website looks like, so you can take a look of what they have in store for you, what prerequisites, what the procedure is, what programs are available, and how as a community you can engage with the department even without being a part of the university. You can still, there's so many ways you can invest your time, your energy, and your work potential with this department. And the final question goes out to Kirti. And definitely, even though it looked like one step back, it was 2 steps forward for you, because you took a risk, made a small turn, and then here you are with the company. And there are so many youngsters out there who are doing the conventional education stream, who wants to, have that normal path in mind. But can you give us a few words about the potential that we need to have as an entrepreneur in Sri Lanka? What potential that we need to have in growing SMEs? So, someone who initiated it, what kind of advice can you give to the youngsters out there?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Actually, when I was in the university also, I saw this potential, and that's why rather than this biomedical innovations, I started Entrepreneurship Society in University of Moratuwa for the other youngsters to take up these challenges and go to the investors and go to the industry without facing so many troubles. And the other thing you mentioned is what kind of advice for the others, other youngsters we can give. So that is actually we should not think negatively about Sri Lanka. It's a land of opportunities. So if you are really an entrepreneur, you should see those opportunities, because Sri Lanka is a great country to develop new products. This is very good ecosystem. I mean, so many doctors, engineers, very senior people there. They are willing to help us. So that support is there. So I think rather than talking it as a risk, it's an opportunity, and I think starting a company is the least risk activity that they can do.
Definitely.
So that's what I think.
Definitely. I mean, definitely failing in doing something amazing is still better than never trying. Yes, so I think that's a really good takeaway from Mr. Kirti Koduthuaka as well. So we'll once again thank Dr. Nuwandayanan, the Head of Department of Electronic and Telecommunications Engineering of University of Morto, and Kirti Koduthuaka, the CEO of Jendo Innovations. Thank you so much for joining in with us. And despite what you do, be out there, use your creative energy in creating something and add something valuable to this world. And with that takeaway, it's time for us to wrap up Wednesday's edition, Gihan.
Yes, definitely. And on an ending note, just like Mr. Kirti said, Sri Lanka is a land of opportunity. It's up to you to go out there, grab the opportunities, and achieve what you want to achieve.
Until then, take care.
Goodbye.